Hey there, you guys. Jan Anderson here, voice actor in the San Francisco Bay Area, here with another unscripted, quick and dirty video. And this time I'm going to talk about normalization, the normalization effect when you're recording your voiceovers. Um, it's really, I think the name normalization kind of throws people for a loop. It's like, what the hell? Normalize? What's normal? What normal? Well, it's not that. All it really is a volume control. It adjusts the volume of your recording either up or down, depending upon what you set the control at. So for instance, if you're recording so that your peaks typically land between -12 and -6 dB, a lot of times for our purposes, we want to adjust the volume of our overall audition recordings to say -3 or -2. So what you would do is you would use the normalize effect to just bring up the volume of the whole thing. That's all it does. It's really just like a volume preset. That's it. I'll show you. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. Now I made this little recording here. If I can get it to play. This is a test so that I can show you what normalization is all about. Oh boy! Okay, so that is our recording. And as we can see up here, the peaks, or the largest peak was at about, -8 or something like that. Okay, probably right here. Oh boy! So anyway, what we're gonna do, all about, oh boy! No, I'm sorry. All about, oh boy! I was looking at the wrong meter. Boy, aren't you glad I'm teaching this? Okay, the largest peak was right here at about, say, -5 or so. Now, if we select this recording and come up here to the effect drop-down menu, zip down here to normalize. Now, right now, I was messing around with this earlier, and I set this to -12. And what normalize will do, you choose the value that the peak value that the volume will be adjusted to. So for instance, if it's -12 and I hit OK, see how that just got dropped down immensely. This is a test so that I can show you what normalization is all about. See? So I'm going to undo that normalize, and I'm going to come up here and do it again to something that is more relevant to what we do most of the time. And I'm going to change this to -3 dB. I've got this checked, remove DC offset, center on 0 vertically. That's just in terms of what the waveform is looking like. It can goof around with your audio in some respects, but that's a different topic altogether. So I just have that checked, remove DC offset, normalize peak amplitude to -3. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And see how that jumped up? This is a test so that so essentially right here, let's take a look at my meter right over here, and the peak should be no higher than -3. Oh boy! Right at -3, okay? So that's really all that this does. That's all that normalize does, is it adjusts your volume either up or down according to how you set the function. Now, another thing that I'll just mention here is that sometimes if you have a really high peak, say for instance, this looked more like this. Now, because that peak is so high, it's going to really affect how the rest of your recording is dealt with normalize. So occasionally, if I have a really hot peak like that, I will highlight it, come up here to effect and amplify, and lower that by 1.5, minus, I need more coffee, by 1.5 decibels in increments like that, just to bring it down to where other things are sitting, okay? That way, it won't mess with the peak of your recording and thereby messing with where you want the volume to be adjusted to for your normalization setting. That's a lot of words, and I probably just complicated things far more than I needed to. But I'm going to stop sharing and come back. So anyway, that's all that this does. That's all that normalize does, is it adjusts the volume of your recording either up or down according to where you want your highest peak to be set to. Okay? hopefully that'll clear up any confusion about what normalization does. It's a very common tool. There's nothing mystical about it. That's really all it does. It's a volume control set at, typically for us, set at what the highest peak should be. Okay, got it? I hope so. I hope you found this helpful. If you do and you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you would be so kind, and feel free to share it and all that other jazz, blah, 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 blah. Thanks, and stay tuned. Later.